All right, I've been working on a fuel tank, a permanent fuel tank for this skidder truck, instead of just a gas can bouncing around in the back of it. I am using an oxygen cylinder, a tank that I cannot get refilled out here. It was given to me for free. It weighs a ton and it's a 1/4 inch thick. So it's as thick as the frame of the truck. I mean, it's impervious to being penetrated. This is the filler neck that I'm building. And what I've done is I've taken this piece of 1.5 inch, a 12-inch long, 1.5 inch pipe nipple. I wish it was mild steel, but it's galvanized. That was all I could get. I capped the end of it. And I bored, obviously, a series of holes. I got this one fitting right here, and I put a saw slit right there. That is the vent. This is a parts store fuel filter that I've cut open, and I've scalloped it so that when it sits on the bottom, it still gets fuel from the bottom. And this is my first stage of filtration. There's a second filter before the carb, but this one is going to protect the transfer fuel pump on the engine. And these nuts are just for weights, so that it always stays right down at the bottom. So that drops in, goes right to the bottom. This gives me a little canister so that I've always got a little cup full of fuel. If I'm going downhill and all the fuel runs to the front of the tank, this is still going to have enough to keep it running. I figure downhill you're basically idling, and I'm not driving down a whole lot of hills. When I'm going uphill, this thing will be swamped in fuel, and that's when you need it, when you're on the throttle. Then this plastic hose, it is actually fuel line. I'm going to pull it through this fitting right here, and and this is going to serve as an adapter. So that clear hose threads in right there. It doesn't thread in, but it pushes in. And then my main fuel line slides over this one. So one critical mistake that I made when I fabricated this draw tube is that I failed to put a vent hole just below the surface. So like right now, I've got this tank's only actually half full, but it looks like it's, you know, it's about to pour over because it's getting vapor. It's getting vapor. I don't really know how because there's no return line, but it's basically growing an air bubble up in the front end. And I mean, this is welded permanent, so it's not like I'm gonna grind it and pull the tube out. If I ever make another, of course, I'll have a vent hole right just below the surface. The only cure I can think of for now that this is welded to the truck, is drilling and tapping a breather line right there. And I think that will solve the problems, but at the moment, this is not fantastic. Live and learn, right?